live. Okay, preparing. Uh-oh, it says preparing. Oh, we're live. Okay. Hey, Laura, how's it going?
Good, how are you? It's Friday. Where's our snow? I'm in the mood for some snow.
I know. I know. Yeah. So, well, what's going on? What are we going to talk about
We're
today?
going to talk about something that we all need to talk about, and that is Christmas and the holidays COVID style.
Mhm.
We got some ideas that we're going to talk about, and I'm sure your family's been kind of thinking about how you're going to do things. So, with that, Deb, I am going to bring it to you to start off.
Sounds good, Laura. Thanks. Okay, so I got a couple ideas that actually I can't say that were my ideas. I got them, I stole them from other people, and that's what this is all about. We're like helping each other. And so, anyways, Jessica, my daughter, at her work, they actually they usually do Secret Santa at work, okay, and they pick names and everything. But what they did is they used a really cool site called Elfster. So elfster.com, and it actually helps you create a list, a group of people that you're actually going to have, take part of this. And each individual person goes there and logs in and makes a little profile. And they're able to even put little things in there, like things that they like, their interests, their whatever. And Elfster does the drawing and creates everything for the person, for the group, and emails out who they have. So then this way, no one will ever find out. It's very easy. And then they can actually, if they choose to, they can purchase through Elfster and have Elfster ship it out. They've got a network of stuff, or they can individually do what they want. So I thought that was a really cool one. I want to tell you a little bit about what my Bunko group did. My Bunko group, we did a really cool thing. One of the gals organized it, and she did Secret Santa, and she drew names, and she did it in the email. And then she, of course, knows who everybody has, but hey, she didn't use any of these sites, which is perfectly fine. She told us that to do two things. She gave us like a price point. And so I already had, what I did was, to be really sneaky, I had someone else drop it off at her house, the girl that I had, because I didn't want her to know. But what was funny, you guys, is that the person who dropped off something to me, we have a camera outside. And so, but the person wore their hat over their face, kind of, and there's stuff. So we just said it could be possibly this or this person based on how tall they were and what they looked like with their coat on. Okay. So it was, you know what? I actually had so much fun, you guys. I felt like a little kid when I went to go get my little bag out on there. And I said, it was so weird because the two items that this girl put in there were things that I actually love and would have loved to have bought for myself, but it was just really weird how it went. So that's an idea right there. And then the other, with our group, we also said that we were going to do two things. The second thing was going to be something like bake them something and drop it to their house. So do some creative things. Or pick them up a bottle of wine or whatever and drop that at a second point in time. So then another idea is there's a site called secretsantaorganizer.com, and that one's another one you can work with. And these are ones that I'm going to encourage everybody right now that we're still ahead of the game here, that if you do it now, don't wait, you can still take advantage of using these things. Okay. And so I don't know too much about that one. I haven't heard anybody who used it, but I did hear about it. And I know that these are really cool things that actually can help you out and make things a little bit fun when you gather a group together, especially maybe you've never done this before. And you don't have to pick a tough price point. There are many things that people appreciate way more this year, even if it's a gift card to go to Jewel. Okay. People are like to me, these are things that people like really love. But so anyways, with that, Laura, I know we've got like a couple, we're going to bounce back and forth with all these different things. And I want to turn it over to you because you've got some fun things up your sleeve too.
Oh, well, great. I'm sorry. First, I want to say I'm sorry for my technical difficulties. I had something going on with my computer when you were talking, Debbie. I apologize.
It's okay.
I want to talk about something that I do every year. I bake cookies and I make baskets and I bring them to people. And my friend, my boyfriend, he gives it to his friends. And this year I'm up to probably 40 baskets. And I start baking them ahead of time and I freeze them and keep them cool. But this year with the COVID, I've been kind of nervous about how I was going to do it. So I got this great idea. Well, first of all, when I'm making the cookies, I'm wearing a mask and I'm wearing gloves. And what I'm doing is I am wrapping each cookie individually with saran wrap so that when they get their trays, people could just take the cookie out without touching another one. So they could use it for their holiday table and that. And I know that's a lot more work, but you know what? Safety is everything. And but I with that I was reading up on about another exchange that you could do, and that would be that you would set a table outside and you would have everybody bring their cookies, and then everybody could get a plate and they could grab what cookies they want for the cookie exchange. I thought that was kind of a neat idea. There's so much we could do. And one of the good things that I am so into is Christmas music, and I'm sure you've seen my posts every day. But you know what? There's a lot of churches that are going to have virtual, online Christmas concerts. And I know my son's church, and I don't know if you ever heard my son's voice. It's absolutely gorgeous.
It
He's
is.
phenomenal. And his church is putting on a virtual Christmas concert, and I'm going to post that. And if anybody else has any of their churches, please post it because we're not in our churches, and and some of us really miss the Christmas concerts in the church. And you know what? Too, with that note, I'm going to bring up the fact about anybody that's planning to go to church services for Christmas. And it doesn't have to be the Catholic Church. You can look into your church and see if they're going to be doing it still. And a lot of the churches are making you sign up online for it. So what you do is you look up your church and see if it says on there to sign up for coming to church. And like I go to mass every Sunday, and they allow like 100 people per mass, and I sign up ahead of time. But they're already taking reservations for Christmas because they know that a lot of people like to go to church on Christmas. So look into that. But with that, I'm going to just talk about a couple of things that Gary and I do. We're really big on the homeless people, and the homeless people are very, they're all in the corners and everything, and they're freezing and they're collecting money. Well, we're going to do bags this year, and we're going to put a pair of socks in there we get from the dollar store, hand warmers, and maybe a few dollars. And I want to put something in there about, God, a little paper about Christmas or something. We're looking for right now. We're in the process of looking there the right paper, and and we're going to leave them in the car. And when we see the people on the corners, instead of just giving them the money, we're going to give them the bags, because we don't know if some people go, oh, they're just scams, they're just doing it for money. Well, you never know. You never know who they are. And you know what? As long as your heart is right and you want to give from your heart, that's all that matters. What they do is another story. But why not share the love and let those people have some hope? Right now with the COVID and everything, people are having a hard time. A lot of people are having a hard time. So I would suggest that you do something special for somebody, a neighbor. In fact, it's funny, I just gave cookies to the neighbor next door last week, and I just got a note under the door from him thanking me for making his day. So there's a lot of things we could do. So with that, Debbie, I'm bringing it back to you. See if you have any other things.
You know what, I love what you do with those bags. I have to say, one time I was at church, and the priest that was speaking that day had said about if you see people sitting on the corner that are asking for money, do we know what their intent is with it? Not necessarily, but we don't know. And if your means allow, you should do that, because you never know what it can do and help them. And I think I love that idea. Yesterday I had a lot of fun. I was through the Dunkin' drive-through, and I gifted coffee to the person behind me. And I thought to myself, how fun is that, to be the person receiving it too? Like, it's just something kind of cute, I mean, it's silly. It was a couple bucks really at Dunkin', and it was like, hey, I thought, why not? Also, I'm really big this year on, like I mentioned this before about when we were talking about Joy, about the Christmas cards. I'm getting excited about getting to write mine this weekend, and I found some pretty holiday paper that I'm going to write it on, and I have the picture cards, and so I'm going to put that in there. But my daughter found some cards that Walgreens actually prints where that cards like this, and it has the picture on it, but you turn it over, and on the back it's outlined in a pretty like gold ribbon kind of thing, and a place to write a note, and it's a little thicker card stock. And she said it didn't cost her pennies more. She said it was not much at all. So then you're not sticking stuff in there, and you're also, another thing, you're not going over the weight limit for the stamps, because I you know how that goes. I mean, the stamps are expensive.
Right.
But I looked at it and I thought, you know what? How fun is it to get that? I also wanted to say, you guys, I mean, we're celebrating Christmas, but it's a whole season, okay? People kind of get into that fun mood. But with the Christmas card idea, also pick up the phone and wish some people happy Merry Christmas, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, however you want to say it, and actually connect with them and let them know that you're really thinking about them, that you're not just texting them and sending them a Facebook message, which is all good, you guys, that's great. But look at how it makes someone feel. And also try to see if you can check on somebody that's home alone. There are going to be people this year that are celebrating alone. They're afraid to get with other people because they're afraid of exposure. They're afraid of going out. I know people that are going through that. I know people who are struggling with their family members, not wanting to get together in big groups and stuff. And I know, Lori, you have a suggestion for that. I'll let you talk about that. But also there's another thing too, playing games on Zoom, like trivia. So my daughter is hosting a trivia night tonight at like from her computer with all her cousins, and they're bringing people who are doing stuff, and they've got all these like, fun subjects and topics and all that kind of stuff. Well, adults can do that too, or families can do it. Why not, you guys? Get together and do this. Just be goofy. Who cares if you play by the rules or whatever? Get your alcoholic beverage if you need it, whatever, or your coffee or your water, and just chill out. I mean, look at how, here is Lori in her home. Here's me in my home. There's Lyric waving. Hi, Lyric. She's waving in the background. We're just like talking a conversation, just like if we were just in the same room, and that's, Zoom allows people to do that. And a lot of people don't realize, and I mean, you guys, the Zoom, you can get Zoom for free. You have a shorter time frame that you can use it, but if you use it up to that time frame, you can all log out and you can all log back in. Okay, so I don't know if anybody knows that. I hope Zoom doesn't hear this and get mad at me for promoting that, but it definitely is something that you can do. Okay, so these are just like things. And you know what? Presents are not all about what it is. I've heard a lot of families, instead of buying for everybody in their family now, they're literally doing grab bags, and they're doing it. And I think this is a great idea, because most of us are not going into the stores. We're buying online. It's easier than having to get all these gifts and stuff. So these are things that are fun. Now, what would be so bad about do a grab bag with your family and you can't be with them, right? Well, hopefully you can get the gift over to them, but you can get on Zoom and open them all up at the same time.
Yeah, great idea.
I mean, seriously, these are the things. And then there's also other applications too, like Skype, and there's also FaceTime, and there's also the Alexa. We have the Alexa with the screen on it, that kind of thing. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. I know, Lori, you had a great idea, the way that we're positioned with the holiday. I'm going to turn it back to you to talk about that, with the way the days are.
Well, I was sitting there thinking about it. Christmas this year was on a Friday, so Christmas Eve will be on a Thursday. And that's going to be a weekend then, because then you have Saturday and Sunday. So if you don't want to have a lot of people at your house, I would just split it up. I would say, well, we're going to have so many people on Christmas Eve. We'll have so many people on Christmas, and then you have the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So, that would be a great idea. I know this year, usually my son, he hosts Christmas Eve, and he usually has a bigger crowd. Well, he decided this year he's going to have just our family on Christmas Eve, and then he's going to have his other part of the family on New Year's. So, I mean, there's ways to do it. And you know what? I know we'll never forget this year at all. But you know what? Let's make it the best we can do for the end of the year. This year is going to be over, and we'll remember this forever. And then maybe next year we could start off, with just a better attitude, because I think a lot of us were pretty upset this year. So we have to make Christmas the best that we can. We have to be examples for our kids,
Right.
our
Right.
younger kids. This is their Christmas,
Right.
and we have to remember what Christmas is all about.
Right.
It's not just about the presents, like Debbie said, and it's not just about getting together with everybody, because we could still do it on Zoom. I like Debbie says, Zoom, all kinds of stuff. And thank
Hmm.
God for technology that we could do all this kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
I said, I'm looking forward to looking up all the different concerts that are going to be on with the local churches and stuff. So, with that, Debbie, do you have any more to say?
I do want to say one thing about the concerts, like, but it's different. There's a lot of light
Okay.
displays. There's like all over every town. I've been seeing them on Facebook. I've been seeing people posting stuff. And I've also noticed if you drive around in the evening, I really think that people are taking more time doing more decorations outside. I've seen houses that are lit up like crazy. And I almost feel like it's a statement, like, hey, let's be joyful again. Let's talk about joyful. So, but so we were talking, Laura, about like maybe for next week, next Friday, what we wanted to kind of cover. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the reason for the season. And, it's not about, like I said, it's not about the gifts, but what the true meaning of Christmas is. And talk about that with everybody, because we're going to be in that hustle and bustle stage next week. But, it's going to be a little bit different because of the COVID. So we're going to go over all that stuff, and we want to make sure we wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And we just want to have one last hello, and, friends helping friends, and know that we're here for you and thinking about you during this season. So, with that, we're going to probably say goodbye and have a good weekend. And we'll look forward to talking to you guys. Next Wednesday, we have a good interview. So, we'll get put more information on our site on Monday. But if you have any information about any concerts, any light shows, please put it on our Facebook page. And thank you again. And remember, our goal is 1,000 people. So help us invite friends. All right.
Absolutely. I'm going to say ditto to everything you
Great,
said. That was
great,
awesome.
great, great.
All right, guys.
All
Well,
right.
everybody have a great day.
Great day now.
Love y'all.
Bye. Love you.
Take care. Bye.